Hey, good morning, party people. How y'all doing this morning? Up early, about 6:30 in the morning. Got my little snifter this time instead of the big glass. Got my little snifter of eggnog. I done hit about two, three of these already. I'm telling you, boy, that's good. That's some good stuff there, y'all. Um, Doing a quick video. Hopefully it's quick, and I do apologize for being so long-winded on these, because I know most people put videos up just like 3, 4 minutes and everything. I'm not a 3, 4 minute guy. Um, Part two of your systems check is simply this. After you know your schedule, then you need to be able to keep track of this stuff. And I almost want to say it's somewhat debatable, um, because there's all kind of ways to keep track. Some people are manual trackers, some people are automated. Some people just like, I just got it all up here and all of that. Some people, I do a combination of manual and I guess you say semi-automated. To me, it's all manual because you do have to put it into a system. So you manually have to put something into a system. And like I said, some people just keep stuff in a little notebook. Um, and I've done all of that. I was making notes here and there and stickies and all of that. So the system I came up with is when you first start, most people get into SnapDocs. SnapDocs allows you to put everybody order in there. Primarily, I think because they like to do marketing, they like to reach out to these companies and try to get them to hop on SnapDocs. So if you're doing something in signing order, which doesn't allow you to add other companies' work in there, you take your signing order and then you put it in the SnapDocs so you can keep track of it in there for us when it gets paid, shipping, all of that. And then I guess SnapDocs can reach out to them or will reach out to them saying, hey, this guy, these people have been putting your stuff in our system. Why don't you join us? Therefore, some people don't like using SnapDocs for that reason. Also, the accounting isn't great on that. So a lot of people use either Notary Assist or Notary Gadget. Now, some people use spreadsheets and all of that. So if you want to know more about Notary Assist or Notary Gadget, go to those individual websites, notarassist.com, Notary Gadget. I actually have an account with both. I've been using Notary Assist primarily from the accounting standpoint. You can sorry about that, you can track your stuff with both Gadget, Notary Assist, and Notary Gadget on the accounting, your notarial acts for your tax deductions, as well as your invoicing and all of that. And those are good because especially if you're going direct and you're going to be doing direct invoicing, you can do that. I have Square, so I do a lot of my invoicing through that method. Everything. So, and nobody pays me through Square. They just send me a check. So using one of those other options will be good. But there's a lot of different ways to keep track. But the main thing is you got to find a way to keep track because you have SnapDocs, you have signature closers, you have signing order, you have BankServe, you have Solidify, you have Zone, XOOM, you have one called Signing Solutions. So those are the main ones that I wind up getting orders from. And anything that's not SnapDocs, all the rest of those, you have no way of really keeping track because it's all these different systems. So you need one central location to put your stuff. So for now, really for the last 2.5 years, I've been just dumping everything in the SnapDocs. There's nothing wrong with that. Some people like it, some people don't. But my thing is, SnapDocs, sometimes with the way you have to log into them, it's difficult. You gotta always, it's like every time you go from one internet connection to the next, you always gotta add in the code and the little secret sauce and all of that just to say, okay, yes, it's me. Because it's like, I don't recognize you all of a sudden. Well, I'm on my Wi-Fi in the car or I'm on my 4G LTE Wi-Fi, mobile data, or I'm back at the house and all that. And every time you go from one internet connection to the next, a lot of times it will sit there and say, hey, I don't recognize you. So you need to put in that code. So if you get an order in and you're trying to see whether or not you're available on a particular date, trying to log into SnapDocs can be pretty difficult because you always have to add in that little 6, 7, 8, 12-digit code, and that's frustrating, very frustrating, especially when you're trying to move quick, or and everything, or if you get, you get anything. So that's why I go with my calendar system. The calendar system part is cool because with SnapDocs, I give you credit. You can add it to your Google Calendar, Yahoo, Mac, and all of that. Add your stuff to the calendar, but then trying to pop up your calendar could be a hassle, especially you driving. You want to see, oh man, I need to be able to see it, quickly, because sometimes Google, you might get logged out of Google, and you have to log into that. So that's why I still go with a manual calendar that I have for when I'm in my car. And honestly, it helps. And I'll be honest, it helped me out when I was working my regular W-2 job, because if an order came in and I would have my calendar and I'm like, oh, I could glance at it. Oh, yeah, I'm available. Yes. Oh, I'm not available. Not available. So having that calendar, in my opinion, works. So whatever system you decide to use to keep track of your orders is fine, just as long as it's something that's workable and you can see at a moment's notice where you're at, what you got going on, all of that. I also suggest, if like in my calendar, what I do is I put the date. I mean, I have the date already, but I put the time and then I put the city. So I just put an initial. So if I see a C, I know that's Chesapeake. If I put an N, that's Newport News, H, Hampton, S for Suffolk, P for Portsmouth, V for Virginia Beach, so forth and so on. That's what I do, and that helps me. So if I see, and the reason why that's important is because now you can decide, okay, well, I got a 7 o'clock at Chesapeake, and now they're talking about doing a 9 o'clock in Suffolk. Maybe I don't want to do that because that's, or let's just say you got a 7 o'clock in Chesapeake, and then they say we got a 8:30 in Newport News. And for me, that's a good little ride. Okay, I might not be able to get to Newport News by 8:30. You see what I'm saying? So by also knowing the location of these signings is going to be critical. You do need to know that. If you don't, that can really throw you off, because it happened to me one time where, oh my goodness, actually it happened twice, where I'm on two parts of the Hampton Roads area. I was at least 30, 40 minutes away. I had a signing in one side of Virginia Beach up against the ocean front. Then I had to come all the way back to my area, which was a 35, 40-minute ride. I had one that was darn near toward Newport News, and I had to go all the way back 45 minutes back into a deep part of Virginia Beach. And I normally don't do that. And the main reason why is because I forgot to look at my calendar. And see, that's another thing with your system. You have this calendar, you still got to look at it. And I'll be honest, when I was part-time, I always was looking at it. Since I've been full-time, orders been coming in so fast, sometimes I'll see the calendar, but I won't look at it because it's like I don't look at it so much. It's like, okay, I know I'm free, but then I don't take into account, oh man, that's right, the distance, I'm way over here. So you got to do that also. Got to make sure you check your distance. So the other part of the system, after you know what your schedule is, and even before you know what your schedule is, you talk to your family know what the deal is. Now you got your schedule, you know when you're available and when you're not. Now you're keeping track of these orders so that you can get them done. Okay, you got to keep track so you'll know, okay, I have an order from this company, from that company. Oh, CX Choice is another one. So you have all these orders from these companies, and you got to put them in a central location so you'll be able to say, I know what I got going on. If you don't do that, you'll be all over the place. And for that reason, I think some people only are doing like one or two signing companies. And there's nothing wrong with that in the beginning, but if you're really trying to make some dollars, you're going to have to do multiple signing companies or systems, platforms, I would say. So you got Signing Order, SnapDocs, CX Choice, signing solutions, signature closers. You have all these different systems, and there's other ones out there, but those are the ones I primarily use. And within them, you have all these different companies that can contract you to do work. So you need to be able to keep track of where you have all these orders coming from so you don't miss out on anything, and forget. So far I have never forgotten, oh, I got an appointment and missed it. It might have slightly slipped my mind, but because I got all these reminders on my calendars, I have a 2-hour reminder that 2 hours prior to a signing, I get a notification, hey, you got a signing. And then and let me throw this in there also. With that, you put those reminders in there. Don't just throw stuff on a calendar. Put a reminder to let you know in 2 hours or an hour or whatever you have a signing. The reason why that's important is because you also want to make sure you have the documents, because sometimes a document notification will come in and you might miss it. So if you miss it because it's getting hot and heavy, you can at least say, okay, well, let me go log in and see if I got my documents. Let me go check my text message or check my emails to see if I have a notification letting me know that documents are ready. Some companies will actually automatically call you and let you know. Signature Closer does that. Other companies, they just send you an email. Some of them send you a text message saying documents are ready. So having a reminder, don't just throw stuff on the calendar, but an actual reminder that, hey, you got a signing. And that tells me I need to double check to see if my documents are ready. Because if I got a signing, then I mean I need to have documents. And if I don't have documents, then then I need to be, reaching out to the company and all of that. And now I don't actually reach out to them anymore because it seems like sometimes they get upset when you're constantly bothering them about documents. They're grown people. They know what they need to do. They know they need to get stuff to me. So I found out that I don't do that anymore. I just leave it alone. In the beginning I did, but now I don't. I do contact the customer. Let them know 1 hour before my signing, hey, I haven't gotten the documents yet, but they're still working on them. 30 minutes, hey, I still haven't received the documents yet. 15 minutes, yeah, I still haven't received them, but when I do get them, please be aware that I won't be there at XYZ time. I'll probably be about 15 minutes late, so forth and so on. And during that time, when I'm at the 30-minute mark and 40 and 15-minute mark before the appointment, I actually encourage them to say, feel free to reach out to your loan officer to get an idea of how long it's going to be before the documents are ready. I let them do that. And that seems to work better if I let the customer get on them, because if the customer gets on them, that all of a sudden magically documents pop up. When I not get on them but talk to them, documents are still just sort of floating out there somewhere. So have a way to successfully track your orders, to know when you have them, when they're due, whether you got docs, all of that from the different systems or platforms that you're using, and put it in one central location, whether you're using SnapDocs, Notary Assist, Notary Gadget, a spreadsheet, pen and pencil, stone and chisel. It don't matter. I don't care if you write it on a whiteboard. Long as you can keep track, long as it's a system that works for you, you'll be fine. But if you're doing stuff just sort of haphazard, I'm going to just remember it up here and all of that, that ain't going to work. You're going to quickly get yourself in trouble, and people going to be like, now I want to use you because you're not showing up to our appointment. So I'm going to finish my snifter of eggnog, and thanks everybody for watching the video. And if you got anything that you want me to talk about or subject or anything, just throw it in the comments. Feel free to share the video to any other notaries that you um, think can be helped by this. And again, I'm just trying to give what I consider a more practical side to the notary industry, or the notary gig, side hustle, or whatever you want to call it. I'm not doing this for fanfare, money, or any of that. I'm just doing it because, in my opinion, it needs to be shared. Not that other company people aren't sharing it, but I'm just trying to give y'all practicality, because I do know this. There are some people who can't afford to pay money to get the information that is out there. And there's information, stuff that I'm sharing. There's people who are giving it to you, but you have to pay to get it. I'm not taking people's secret sauce and then throwing it out here in a public forum. This is based on my own experience that I have and that I've learned. It has been confirmed through listening to other notaries and all of that. So I do know there are people out here who want to do this business, who are doing this business, that just doesn't have the funding to pay the money to be a part of these other notary training groups and things of that nature. So I'm trying to give you some practicality, or practical things that you can do to help you out, so you can build your income up, so that you can get to a point where you can invest into those other training resources. And there are a lot of them out there. And the worst thing is to be spending your money on something that you don't have, and then you're not being successful at consistently bringing in revenue to cover that expense. And I don't want to see anybody in that situation. Fortunately, I wasn't never in that situation, but I know others have been, and that's part of the reason why I do what I do. So if you got any questions, got anything you want me to talk about, feel free to put it in a comment, so forth and so on. All right, y'all have a good one. Peace.